Morning, Dr. Taylor. I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes. How are you?
I am great, you know. I am
Yeah.
Irie, as we would
Yeah, yeah,
say.
yes, see, they have taken across the
Yeah,
country against I people say, yeah,
yeah,
Rastafari. I
yeah,
love it.
man.
Talk to me.
Well, we can't. So we're stepping into February, celebrating Reggae Month, celebrating Bob Marley's birthday and Black History
Mm-hmm.
Month in some regions,
Yes,
and not
yes.
talk about one of the most iconic features of Brand Jamaica, which is the Rastafari influence on almost everything that we
Absolutely.
do and say and our way of being is really influenced by the foundations of this religion. And I, as a representative of the brand Things Jamaican, it would be remiss of us not to point this out. And so this campaign is really seeking to pay homage to the influences of the Rastafarian movement on Brand
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, because it is one of those features that we can actually claim as our unique selling proposition. Nowhere
Mm-hmm.
in the world can claim this religion as theirs.
Yes,
And
yes.
so when you step out and you want to debate about what is Jamaican and what is not, certainly we get to claim the influence of Rastafari on our
Mm-hmm.
products and the way we create products. And so I think Jamaican represents quite a number of brands too that are represented by makers who are
Yes,
Rastafarian. And so
yes.
by natural creative elements, these products and these suppliers and the clients that are featuring during this campaign are also strong representation of the movement. And over the period, we will definitely be having further conversations with them to help them to promote how their culture of Rastafarian practices influences the way they make their products.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are certain products too that are very much closely aligned with the Rastafarian movement.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about wellness, the world globally is now talking about wellness, but way
Yes,
back in our history, the
yes.
Rastafarian movement has been promoting what they call levity. It's
Yes,
a way of
ital and
life.
vital. Yes, removing
Ital is
all of the
vital.
toxic substances from your diet. I mean,
Yeah, man, right there,
of course, no
right
doubt.
there, right there, and even the slang "irie" also connotes this way of taking it easy, not getting caught up into the world system, and really creating a lifestyle that promotes peace and love, one love. And so you see how naturally we use these terms, but we really have to acknowledge where it's coming from and how strongly this influences the perception of Brand Jamaica. Over the last 2 years, interviews with many international icons would have made reference to what excites them about Jamaica. And in fact, quite a number of them would have responded about the culture, something about the culture that just drives this interest and curiosity and wanting to understand it. And
Mm-hmm.
invariably, their references to the culture and how they break that down taps into things that have a Rastafarian influence.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But we get into the food now, and we're talking about healthy living. So we're not just talking about any food. We're talking about healthy food, ital food. We have quite a number of producers that have infused that practice of using natural ingredients and removing things like salt and additives that are harmful to our
Mm-hmm.
bodies and ensuring that our products are just naturally well for our bodies. We talk about the color. So in many instances, a lot of people don't realize that red is not a part of our national
Actually,
flag,
yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes.
So, but yet still, when you see persons dressing and adorning themselves with representations of Jamaica, there is the dominant color red infused in the colors of the flag.
Janine, I can tell you, I had an experience. I was at college at FIU, and there was this girl.
Hmm.
She was adorned in the red, gold, and green, and she looks like she was a slightly mixed Jamaican, yeah. So I walked up to her because she looked so, Jamaican, Rastafari thing. And I said, hi. And then she spoke to me and said, what are you saying? And I'm like, oh, she's Ethiopian.
That's it, yes. Yes. And of course, that's where our ancestors are from. We can't say with Jamaica without understanding
the
course.
Influence.
Yeah, it's really an interesting mix. When we talk about our hair care systems now and our aromatherapy and our products in that category, I remember back in the day where the Rastafari hairstyle was taboo. It's still somewhat taboo, interestingly, even though we have evolved so much. But certainly the world has caught on to it. And so locking is something of a trend now. And so too the natural hair care processes and the products that are used, the castor oil, the coconut oil, the shea butter, all those things being created now in collections of Jamaican-made products that look at natural hair care. And so we burn fire for processing now if you're not careful. So we're switching this conversation and making processing the hair taboo, So we just have to be mindful that when we speak about Brand Jamaica and we grapple with what it is, we have to go to the origins and the influences and acknowledge how these are deeply embedded in the way we innovate. And
Jenny, here's one of the questions. Yeah, here's a question I've been asking though, right? Yeah, a question I've been asking. How you actually legally brand Jamaica though? It's a big deal for me because there's so much cultural appropriation taking place. And I think that with appropriation, there are some people who might be monetizing it. Are we that far down the road where we are protecting ourselves and stuff like that?
Yes, I think we have to be mindful of how the process of branding occurs. And that's why it's important to translate these concepts into tangible and intangible assets. And so when you create a product and you're leveraging, so what we are actually doing is leveraging on the strong elements or strong features that people relate to, but you cannot necessarily brand Jamaica in isolation like that. You have to create something that embodies it, the market recognizes it, and by virtue of its kinship to the brand Jamaica will automatically form some kinship to the representation in the form of a product or an actual brand. And so when we take out the Rastafarian movement, that in and of itself is a brand. It's not something that stands on its own just so by saying the word. It comes out in the language, the use of words. It comes out in the colors. It comes out in the way of being. So it has a naturally formed brand, similar to the Jamaican brand. But when you're leveraging on it and you're claiming it as Jamaican, you have to explain that. You have to explain it and you have to justify it, validate it. And that is where now you get into the technicalities of branding. And in short too, branding by itself, creating a brand called Jamaica by itself is not what cuts it in, it's what the market interprets it as. Yeah, and Rastafari is ours.
Absolutely.
100% ours.
Yes. We definitely founded here, developed here. So they can try to seal it like dancehall and reggaeton and all those things, but the Rastafari right here, the foundation of so many things. And the Rastafari really has kept a positive gaze on this country, has kept us together. It's one of the signal things about our identity. Even words such as upliftment is a Jamaican word,
Yes,
upliftment, because it's uplift, that's the English word. Those things, so Jamaican, the ital and the vital and all of those wonderful things. But I'm looking at the clock, Janine, and we're like almost literally totally out of time. How do we get additional information and other kinds of assistance from you?
Well, certainly over the next 3 months, we will be doing an expose on the products that fit into this theme. We will be exposing the brands and the clients that are utilizing this feature in their innovation. And we will be distilling further how infused the Rastafari movement is in the brand Jamaica name and so on, and we will expand on that on our social media and website and so on. And of course, we'll be selling and promoting the product.
Okay.
So follow our Think Jamaican shopping Instagram account, jbdc.net, and get on our mailing list and see the features as we release them.
All right, got you. Thank you so much. I'm excited about this one in particular. Of course, everything that you do at JBDC, but this one. Thank you so much. Janine Fletcher Taylor, speaking from the JBDC. We just did Grow Your Business.
Start